Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ray's Roll-Up Report. This is your NXT Recap for the week of July 18th. And I gotta tell you, if you're not watching NXT, you're really missing out. Not for nothing, it's a 1 hour show, and for those people that aren't watching NXT, tune in. 1 hour show. I put it on tonight because I said, let me catch up, and I haven't watched in a couple weeks, and I was trying to catch up. So I wanted to watch this week's first, and I had to make a podcast because, you know what, right off the bat, okay, and there's definitely a disconnect with the main roster and the NXT roster just because of how everything is booked. This is the wrestling show, and this is the show for wrestling fans. So if you want to see a good match and you want to actually see real wrestling, not saying that the main show isn't real wrestling, but if you want to just get back to basics and at its purest, you need to watch NXT. Just starting even with the first match, Lacey Evans against Dakota Kai was unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like no 5-star match or anything, but you can start watching. This is the magic of NXT. You can literally watch a match and you see Dakota Kai come out and you see Lacey Evans come out, and Lacey Evans is beautiful, obviously, and Dakota Kai is, pretty girl as well. And you're thinking, all right, I'm going to watch a match. And these two went out and had a great match. They really did. Hard hitting. Lacey Evans is no joke, man. She really laid it into Dakota Kai. I mean, the holds, the stretch holds, I guess it's because it's the way it's shot and the way it's done. It really focuses on the wrestling, getting back to what I used to enjoy, and it was unbelievable match. Got to a point where, they were going back and forth, and Dakota Kai just kept hitting her with these kicks, these rapid kicks. And Lacey Evans, of course, did get her finisher in, the women's rights, and Dakota Kai caught her right. I tell you, these girls worked really hard in this match. At first started off a little slow, and then before you knew it, it was just non-stop action and real aggressive, real hardcore, and they definitely got their licks in. I loved it. I thought it was a great match. Great way to start off the night. Like I said, for those people who are not watching NXT, you're really doing yourself a disservice, and I would highly recommend that you check out this product. You need to watch NXT on a weekly basis because you can watch a match and you'll be like just blown away. Very little promos, and the promos are short and sweet and to the point, and that's the premise of the show. Like I said, it was just wonderful. Just even from the first match, it was unreal. I said, okay, I'm ready for this. Of course, then they had it did cut to a promo with Ricochet talking about how he went up against Adam Cole, and he was about an inch away from winning the North American Championship from him. So, that's a rivalry that's going to be unreal. Ricochet is a phenomenal wrestler, and so is Adam Cole. So, I mean, look for a great rivalry. And that's one of the things that I think is missing from the main roster. You don't have these rivalries that they have them, but they don't have any significance or impact. They don't have enough significance or impact like NXT does. And they're doing it with very little to no talking, and just a few scenes here and there where someone might get hit or someone might get, jumped in the back or whatever. It's not the same premises as the main roster on Raw or SmackDown. But I think that's going to be an interesting match and a great match. These guys are going to blow it out the water. You also had EC3, who I like. EC3, for those who don't know, came from TNA. He came out and he was walking through a hotel lobby, and he's taking a selfie with a guy and taking a picture, and he says, I tossed him a shirt, and he's like, I don't need your money. And Kona kind of breaks him down a little bit about his suit. He's like, it's a nice suit, but it's not the best, not the top 1%, and his watch, and and basically they kind of went at it a little bit as far as a war of words, and EC3 basically challenged him to a match, and at the end Kona basically says, you know what, we could have been the best of friends, but sure, I'll go up against you. As he walked away, so another little seed dropped there. As far as other matches go, they did have Cassius Ohno. It was short but brief. Ohno went up against I believe Rick Ramirez was his name. They might as well just said, back in the day, they used to have when Undertaker or Shawn Michaels or whoever was going to be in the ring on Monday Night Raw or Superstars or Wrestling Challenge, they would say if they were going up against someone who was kind of like a jobber, and they would be like, here is Shawn Michaels in action tonight. In action just basically meant he's going up against a jobber. You're lucky to see him, and he's going to knock him out in a few seconds. But literally, Cassius Ohno, the knockout artist, did knock Rick Ramirez out in a few seconds. They matched up a little bit. He hit him with the spinning discus, and Ramirez fell to the ground. Ohno pinned him, and that was it. So, it was what it was. It was definitely a stomp match. But I think we'll see more of Cassius Ohno in the future. And if you have not seen him, if you've not watched this guy in action, I love Ohno. I think Ohno is a fantastic talent. I really like him a lot, and his theme song is awesome. Well, almost everybody's theme song in NXT they're all great. The future is bright if they can book him right. That's all I can say about that. But wasn't much of a match, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you got with that. Also, they did cut a little promo scene between Aleister Black, who's the NXT champion, going up against Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa is phenomenal, and he's a nut. He's a maniac. I tell you, Aleister Black has his hands full with him. That's going to be a phenomenal match. They have a match next week for the NXT Championship, and it'll be interesting to see those two and see what they can do. I think that's going to be... please, for people who are listening to this, watch this match. It's going to be fantastic. Try and catch it if you can. And the network always has it available. So, keep your ears peeled, keep your eyes peeled for it, and try and watch that next week. Also, we did have a triple threat match, and that was the main event of the night. Before that, actually, I do want to talk about Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream did have a quick little promo, and I tell you what, this kid he's got something. He's got superstar written all over him. I can't wait to see him in action more, and he's fantastic. I love Velveteen Dream. I think he's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal worker, as most of them are. They had a lot of, I gotta say, tonight was a very promo kind of, even though I was saying how NXT doesn't cut a lot of promos, they did cut a lot of promos to kill some time tonight. Not a lot of matches, but I tell you what, some of these teams coming up that you have here are going to be fantastic, as well as, like I said, Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is, if you have not watched any of his matches, please go back and watch some of his matches and watch some of the things that he's done, because this kid is unbelievable. But to get to the last match, this is going to be very quick. Also, I did want to add a note. Masa Saito passed away today, so keep that in mind. Rest in peace. He was a great wrestler for his time back in the day. If you want to learn more about him, you could definitely Google him, or I think they have a couple of matches on the network if I'm not mistaken. So you might want to check that out if you're interested, or if you can look him up and find out his history. So getting on to the triple threat match, which was the main event of the night. It was Nikki Cross versus Kairi Sane versus Candice LeRae. Now, these three girls, I love Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is, she's out of control. She's a maniac. I love it. She's cute too. I have to say that. I don't know. I guess I like the crazy ones. So that explains a lot about my relationship life. But I love Nikki Cross. That's actually, it's my favorite of the three girls. I love Kairi Sane. I love her elbow. And Candice LeRae is obviously a stunning knockout, gorgeous woman. Johnny Gargano is a very lucky man. I'll give him that. God bless him, lucky dude. But they actually ended up having a tremendous match. Right from the get go, it was just action. Couple roll ups back and forth. Nikki Cross was all over the place. It was a fantastic match. Also, to add, Shayna Baszler did come down to ringside. So, to the commentators table, and I like Shayna Baszler a lot. Actually, I think she has tremendous upside. And you know what? Even though she's a little shaky on the mic, just a little, I liked her confidence, and she kept, she gets it. Like when she came on, even the first time I saw her, I said, "This girl gets it." Definitely in the future, I see her and Ronda Rousey having a confrontation. It's heading in for that direction at some point. That's way down the line, but hopefully we'll get to see that, and that would be fantastic. But for those of you who don't know, Shayna Baszler was UFC bred, and she is taking this WWE wrestling to water. I really like a fish to water. She's unbelievable, and I definitely look forward to seeing her. And I thought she was great on commentary tonight. Like I said, she's still a little uneasy here and there, but you know what? I thought she did a great job. And the girls, by the way, all had a great match. Candice LeRae has a great moonsault. She hits that moonsault, and she gets such a great pop off the middle rope there. She just gets a real nice pop, and she flies off, and she looks great. I would say that it was a great hard hitting match. The girls had to be exhausted. Nikki Cross did eventually at one point. She has Candice LeRae draped over on the ring apron on the outside. I thought she was going to go for a DDT, but she went instead for the spinning neck breaker, which is definitely much safer. But it looked great. She's out there beating her chest, and in the end, Kairi Sane did get the win. Candice LeRae did hit her moonsault on Nikki Cross, and then Kairi Sane came off the top rope with the elbow, with that twisted elbow that she does. If I had one complaint about the match, and as much as I love Nikki Cross, I don't like sometimes how, like, when she hit that elbow, it was like Nikki Cross was like, okay, it's time for me to leave, and I'm just going to get up and roll out the ring. Like, I wish it could just be a little bit more subtle and not so, abrupt, like, oh, wow, yeah, well, we know you're going to win, so let me just get up and roll out the ring. Like, it was just like, maybe it was just a bad camera angle. I don't know, but either way, I just wanted to give a quick recap of NXT tonight. I mean, like I said, it's an hour's worth of wrestling that you get, give or take here or there, 56 minutes. But I thought it was excellent. And if you're just to add a little more to the podcast, if you really people who are not watching NXT really need to watch it. For those who are watching it, I think everyone feels the same way probably that I do. Compared to the main roster, it's night and day. And it would be great if they can translate that onto Raw and SmackDown. But the problem is creative and learning how to, just get back to wrestling and stay away from the overextended promos and the crap that they put out. It's just like, oh man, But because there's no doubt about it that they have the talent. And for people who say, oh, they don't have talent, I'm like, the roster's loaded with talent. From Raw to SmackDown to NXT. From someone who watched, like I said, from the 80s, and some of these other podcasters and other people that are listening, I'm sure they've been watching even longer than that. From top to bottom, it's got to be the best roster that they ever had. I know people want to say the Attitude Era, and I get it. And even you can go back to, I did watch a little bit of Table for Three, and Bradshaw was actually talking about how the 1995 roster, how they had like the best roster ever. Now at the time, some of those guys, The Rock and Stone Cold, they weren't who they were yet. On paper, you would say, wow, that's phenomenal. But I gotta say, from top to bottom, this roster they have now, they have nothing but talent, and they've always had nothing but talent. So when people say that, I don't understand. I never grasped that concept of we don't have talent. I'm like, well, they do. But that being said, I think we can say that NXT is one of the best things that's ever happened to this company, and they would be, it would be great if they can translate that onto the main roster and make this something special. Like I said, for those who have not watched it, please, please, please watch NXT. It's really good, and it gets back to basics of wrestling. That being said, I mean, we'll talk more about NXT next week. It was a short show, but I do want to say thank you, everybody. I wanted to get another podcast out there. Tune in next week. I'm definitely going to do another NXT recap show, and I'm going to be doing a Raw recap show as well as SmackDown. So just wanted to say thank you to everybody for listening to the podcast. Please comment, like, subscribe. If there's anything I can change or do, anything audio-wise, please let me know. Don't be afraid to make comments or suggestions. I'm open for suggestions. Other than that, I just want to say, everybody, thank you. This is Ray's Roll Report signing off for the night. Take care.